ask it this way. What are some things you do to compete with TikTok, Among Us, Fortnite, all these other things that are on these kids' minds when you're trying to get them excited about Jamestown and Werewacomico?
Talk about how you teach Hunger Games.
Oh, goodness. Well, it's funny that you first said like Jamestown, because in the month of October, we read The Crucible. And
Fun.
right. But
Yes.
we also talk
That's
about
a
a lot of
popcorn.
things. But we talk about things about how it would connect to nowadays,
Mhm.
where, just because someone says something doesn't make it so. And a lot of times, it can go around that someone is one thing, but that doesn't make them that. We play this amazing game, whereas they're coming into the room, I give
love
them
this.
all a slip of paper. And then they go around the room and they have to convince the class that they're a townsperson. And I tell them there's at least one witch in the room. So then they have to convince, they're a townsperson. And we'd already talked about what kind of Puritan values that were in the Crucible.
Yeah.
And then finally, at the end, after everybody is, given their whole, I'm a townsperson because spiel, I have them give me names of people in the class they think who are a witch, and I write it on the board. And then we vote on one person who's the witch.
Burnt at the stake, yeah.
And then no one's a witch.
Yeah, I figured. I thought you were going there.
Yeah.
I was like, I bet no one's a witch.
No one's a witch.
And it
Oh,
blows their
my
mind
goodness.
every year.
Every year.
Like, no, someone had to be a witch.
Right. Someone's a witch.
But I think this speaks to the universality of the Crucible and the themes that are in
Yes.
it, because
Yeah.
even when you revealed nobody was a witch,
Right.
they're like, no, someone had
Yep.
to be a witch. You're not telling me the truth.
Right.
No, I'm telling you, nobody was a witch.
Right.
Oh,
It's Salem. There's a witch.
There's such a timely exercise too, and that's one that'll really get kids to stop and think. Like, okay, am I looking for that confirmation bias?
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
what, that person just winked at me. I bet they're the witch. Yeah.
Right.
That he rubbed his nose. But there's
Right.
it's the witch.
Mhm.
That's
Right.
tremendous.
That person likes to read. That means she's a witch. Because that was one of the signs back then. The woman read, she's a witch. So
And you think about it too, like what we know about mental health now versus not even 50 years ago, but like back, but even more so like a couple hundred years ago in the 1600s. You may have like something where it may have been autism, or it may have been Tourette's, or it may have just been something small that they thought was demonic possession.
Yeah.
Or a frog living in their head or something. It's like it's tremendous how far mental health has become. Mental health awareness has become.
Absolutely.
And Michelle doing things like that, I just love that you do things like that, hon, because let's be honest, a lot of kids hear the Crucible and they think, yuck. It was, even though it was written in the 50s, they think it's about the Salem witch trials. Yawn. It's not interesting. But teaching it in that way makes it so fresh and accessible and relevant. And you have so many kids remember it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, it's that because it's that aha moment that just sticks with them.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes as teachers, we tend to forget that teaching is putting them in that disequilibrium, and then they find their way up, and then you put them in that situation. There was one of my colleagues. She does this activity where she gives. They're talking about. I can't think of the guy's name. He was an abolitionist, and I want to say John Brown. John Brown. Have you heard of
this? He was hanged here in West Virginia.
Yes, he was.
This lesson they give everybody this bio of John Brown, but half the class gets this glorified. He's this true hero abolitionist. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's he helped free slaves. Such a great person. All this glowing stuff. The other half of the class talks about he's a murderer and he's this scumbag and he murdered this family and he's this horrible person and he and his two sons did this. And so then we have a discussion about John. Okay, so let's talk about John. What are some character traits of John Brown? And then they'll say, oh, he's an amazing person. He's a hero. And then you see half the class go, what? Hero?
Yeah.
He murdered people. He blah, 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 blah. And then you find them, they get this whole thing, but it's one of those, again, confirmation bias where you have that one group that's art. The first thing they read about him is he's this horrible person. The other group, they're reading this hero thing. And then you find out it's both two different viewpoints. That's tremendous.
Yes.
Right.
That's the type of stuff that's so, and see, you don't like, I like incorporating technology, but that's a non-technology way to really make a lesson fun.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I remember for Jamestown, because it's a monotonous lesson. And you're talking about all the like we're going over statistics of the deaths, and then the 1 December of 16, I think it's 1609, 1610, where they went from like 100 to like 40. Yikes. And so I made this I got this PowerPoint that I was using, and on the front I got a picture of them carrying a dead body out. It was an old painting, and then I photoshopped one of those kids from the I Survived the thing. You know those books always have those kids running.
Yeah.
And so I tried to make it like I Survived Jamestown and try to make it like try to hook them. And then one of the kids raised their hand and said, "Where's that kid going? He's stuck at James. Where's he running to? He's James. If he runs out of Jamestown, the Native American's going to get him." And it's just, yeah. But that was my attempt at making Jamestown fun.
I love it.
How y'all doing this point in the year? This is May 1st when we're recording this.
State testing next week.
Yes.
Yeah, how's that going for you?
19 days of school left. State testing is next week. I don't know. I have a love-hate thing with state testing because it's necessary. Obviously, you need the data, right?
Yeah.
But we spend all year doing differentiation of instruction, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, everyone does exactly the same thing.
Full episodes of the Educators podcast every Thursday at 4 p.m. Real educators with the real issues in education. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, take care of yourself. Jeans passes to anyone who likes, shares, and comments on this video. Have a great week.